I generally say that you should be very sure that why do you want to come out of India? Because if you really want to learn science, I think India is doing pretty good. But if you want to just explore the world, then it's a valid reason. Start to get that infatuation. Okay, yeah. If he can go, I can also.
Exactly. I also want to go there. But in my case, there was also inferiority complex that I'm not from that background.
You need not to figure out that what you love. You just have to figure out that what is the thing that comes easily to you. If the thing that comes easily to you, I think that's the right choice for you.
All the other things which you mentioned, they are limited sources. They will finish someday in future, after 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, 100 years maybe. But sun is unlimited source.
It is said that the preventive measures that we were supposed to take were 10 years back.
Exactly.
And now we just can say whatever we have. We can't just rely anymore on other energy resources. That's the only way to go forward.
Otherwise, self-destruction.
Okay, so as you all know that the energy sector or the energy production sector all over the world has changed dramatically as a result of solar cells. And this is one of the renewable energy source which has dramatically changed the way we produce energy, and it has been one of the best things that ever happened in the area of energy sector. Today we have an expert related to such an area, Dr. Bhaskar. Welcome to this podcast, and we are happy to have you here today. So as usual, we start with a small introduction. So why don't you introduce yourself to our audience?
No, that's a very tough part.
No worry. The tougher part is gonna come later.
yeah. So, in short, I'm currently working in a company as a team leader. Before joining this company, I did my PhD in Technical University Clausthal, where I work in the solar cell field. Yeah, and before moving to Germany, I did my master's in IIT Delhi, and originally I'm from UP, India.
Oh.
So yeah.
So we are more or less from the same province.
Yeah, exactly.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we generally start with the first and primary question. How was your journey from the starting of science, when you started studying science, till the time you're here? Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to know all the journey?
Yes, for sure. We would love to know that how exactly you landed up here to such a renowned position.
Okay. So I think it's a long journey, but yeah, for me it was quite spontaneous.
Okay.
So I have never planned to be in Germany or even in a foreign country from my start of the high school or something like that. So when I did my high school, it was also in one of a small town where my father was a teacher. So yeah, I did that thing there, and during that time, I had a plan like, okay, I will be I will get some job in army, or maybe I'll become a constable, or maybe primary school teacher.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because that's the thing you see around you. You never see like there is professor or some other guy. Yeah, so that
typical East UP.
yeah, exactly.
Typical East UP vibe.
Yeah, exactly. So that is the only thing you are seeing around you. You don't have that big exposure that you want to be that thing. Yeah, so I did my high school, I think in 2008, you can say intermediate, yeah. And that was the time of, what you say, that this engineering boom in India.
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah,
Till date, it's the same.
Yeah,
a little bit less, but still.
But that time in UP it was quite high. So
Yes.
it was famous, like at every corner you can find engineering institute in UP, yeah. So my elder brother already got a job, got admitted in one of the engineering college. So based on financial situation, family financial situation, I didn't opt for engineering because
Yes,
I cannot do that.
it was at that time very expensive.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, so expensive, and also, yeah, you can say that you will live outside of your home. You can't stay at home and then
Yes. That itself add a lot of cost to the degree. Yeah.
exactly, yeah. So I tried to go in a, what you call that, this doing general bachelor, physics, chemistry, mathematics.
The BSc science.
Yeah, BSc science.
Yes.
So that was the only option left for me because I was very good in science and mathematics. So that's the only thing to do after that.
Indeed.
Yeah. So I went to do my bachelor, and Yeah, so during my bachelor, my dream was to become IS officer.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because now that's the thing. Like, okay, if you pass inter, then okay, you see police officer, or maybe you try to get into NDA.
NDA, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
definitely.
After that, you become bachelor. Then bachelor is higher degree for NDA.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So
yes.
now,
So there are two options for to get into NDA. Either you go during after qualifying 12th,
yeah,
and then if you can't qualify, then you go by do your BSc and then again apply, right?
yeah. But after BSc, my plan was like, okay, let's do IS officer.
officer, okay.
Plan for that. So first year, okay, I'm doing my bachelor, and I'm thinking like, okay, from next year maybe I will sit in the exam and see how it works. But when I finished my second year, then I learned from a friend of mine that one professor in that college uh, can help to do the preparation for IITs.
For IITs,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So during that time, there were selections for IITs for the master's program.
Yes. So
Okay.
there is called JAM,
JAM, yes, yes,
Joint
yes.
Admission Test for
yeah.
Master Program, and then I learned that okay, there is one professor who can help us to go to IIT, and every student dreams in India is to get
to go to IIT,
to go to
definitely.
IIT. Yeah. So now the dream changes. Become IS officer now to go IIT.
To go IIT. Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So at the end of the second year, it was quite clear that I will prepare for master, so MSc Physics. So in the third year, we were like 5 or 10, I think 5 or 10 students. We approached this professor and he started to do this preparation. And in the third year, we finished it, and then we gave the exam. So one of my friend got IIT Kanpur, I got IIT Delhi, one got I think Delhi University, and one got in Amity University.
Amity University,
Yeah, and the others didn't qualify. Yeah. So then after finishing my bachelor, I came to IIT Delhi, and now it was a big exposure for me.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was a big exposure. You see people, you see professors, you see students going outside, some going MIT, some going somewhere else, all over the world. And that place opened my eyes that, okay, with this master, I can do something else which that thing has never been done in my family or
So
in my.
basically, you got out of the so-called social norm that exists within your own province that either IS officer, NDA, or teaching. So
IS officer is big things.
IS officer is
In
big
my
things.
village, become a primary school teacher if you're very good, or become a constable.
Become a constable. Okay.
Police constable, because police constable is kind of administration services, so
Yes.
that is like in the village you have the presence, people can see you and can fear you, and it's as you just mentioned that that's East
Indeed,
UP.
indeed.
East UP.
It's all over the same. I would not consider only East UP. I think it's all over the not only UP. I would
But,
say that
but it's mainly in the Purvanchal region actually.
it's mainly in the Purvanchal
You'll
region
see
that
either people go in police or
Yeah.
army. I mean, first, as Dr. Bhaskar pointed out, that first thing is primary school teacher.
Definitely,
If
yeah.
not, then constable or police officer or army officer.
Yeah.
If not, then you go for IS or
Yes.
SSC preparation.
preparation.
Yeah, SSC.
There is also this. I mean,
Yeah.
stage wise.
Yes,
SSC. If not, then IS.
IS.
So there are.
There is
different-
also one more exam of railway associated with railway head or something
that's
like that.
all
Yes.
in SSC
SSC, it
exam,
comes in
yeah.
SSC. Okay.
Here I have one thing, like when I was like 15 years old, maybe I was in high school or below that. So a relative of mine, he mentioned that he want to go in railway and want to be this ticket who give
ticket checker, yeah,
ticket checker, or the one who at the counter give the ticket. And what was the reason? I asked why you want to be, that he can travel for free everywhere.
This indeed is a big is a big.
So that's a dream.
Yes, it's a big dream for him, obviously. No, actually, so this is really nice to know that how you got out of this, the social norm, how you broke down the social norm. And I would say that I would strongly give the credit to one of your professors during the bachelor's time
Yes.
who provided you the insight that, okay, there are things beyond your social structure, social construct that you have. It's really nice. So, how was your college life in IIT? You told us that it was a very big exposure. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say that was fantastic in comparison to all my college life or
Okay.
other life, because in IIT there is a culture like you live inside the campus, and yeah, there is hostel. You live in the hostel, you eat, and then you go to the institute building
Yeah.
to take the classes in the evening. Maybe in the lunch you come back again and you eat your lunch in the mess and then go back again, and then in the evening again you come back and have the dinner,
Okay.
and then at home, I mean, in the night you are inside the hostel with your friends, or maybe you are studying, or maybe you are doing something.
Yes,
Yeah.
something. We all know what something is.
Yeah. So this is the circle.
Circle, yeah.
And every time you are thinking about your study or maybe eating. So these
Food
two
and
things.
study, food and study.
Yeah,
that's
food
it.
and study. And the third thing comes like, okay, you have to submit your assignment.
Yes.
Kind of like that.
But overall, it's a very secure bubble, I would say, for the students, and this is one of the reason I would say that a lot of students come to us and contact us through different platforms, and they ask that we want to come out of India. I generally say that you should be very sure that why do you want to come out of India, because if you really want to learn science, I think India is doing pretty good.
Yes, that's true.
All you have to do is to prepare for certain exams. But if you want to just explore the world, then it's a valid reason. Okay, then you want to come out of India and explore the world. That makes more sense. But just by demeaning India that okay, it's a bad country or something like that, there is no good education, I would disagree. And one of the biggest examples are IITs and ISIS. From where I graduated, ISIS is one of the. It's fundamentally built for
Yeah, after
studying.
that, consider, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to add something here,
Yes,
that
sure.
so not only science is the reason if you want to get out of India. So the young professors, they are different right now. But if I'll talk about the old professor, when they're quite old, I would say that maybe 50 years old, 45, 50 years old, and they are professor there. They have that sir culture.
Oh, yes, yes.
Seniority, juniority culture. If you're a junior, if you're a PhD student, you can't talk loud in front of your professor. You can't say no to your professor. So if you have some good idea, crazy idea, maybe no one have ever thought of that. You can't present in front of a professor because professor have already an agenda for you
I see.
in India.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe some professor who have got exposure outside, they have different mindset, or the young professor who are doing PhD outside, they have a different mindset, and they bring like, okay, PhD postdoc is my colleague.
Yeah.
I should give him same level
Same
of
level of
respect.
respect,
Yeah.
yeah.
But some professors, they
don't do that.
don't do that. Yeah. And for that, I think it's good to come outside and live in free world, or free this seniority juniority level, and then do the good research. So yeah, it's going very good science in India, but this culture makes
Culture
it
is a little
makes
bit
it
more toxic, I would
Yeah.
say. We'll come to it in the later part of the podcast.
Okay.
But yes, let's continue your journey. After completing your masters, you had a good exposure in IIT's culture of science. Then what happened? Then how did you get the chance to come out and continue your PhD out of India?
Yeah, so as I mentioned in just a few minutes ago, that there was exposure, people were going out, and now you know that there is MIT, quite famous institute in the world, where only elite goes.
Yes.
Elite from IIT goes there.
Yes.
The CEOs studied from IIT and then went to, or maybe good university from India, and then went to these institute, MIT, Harvard, Oxford, whatever you can name it. Most of the CEOs have studied there.
Yeah, indeed.
And at that point, when you are in this small bubble, this IIT bubble, you get all this kind of exposure. Yeah, some of you also, I mean, one student is coming out and going to these institutes, and then you start to you start to get that dream that okay, I also want to.
You start to get that infatuation of
Yeah.
if he can go, I can also.
Yeah,
I should
exactly.
try
I
that.
also want to go there. Yeah, but in my case, there was also inferiority complex that I'm not from that background.
Okay. Yeah.
My studies, so I know physics, but I know physics what I have studied. So till my bachelor, it was Hindi medium, and I haven't studied much physics. But I studied it's only in my master, and those who are surrounding me, either their parents is professor, they are from West Bengal.
Okay. That's a little bit controversial.
Yeah,
but still.
but please cut this. Yeah, and yeah, so they are from there, so they have this science exposure. They are maybe Aizer Mohali from some
Yes.
of the Aizer. They did integrated MSc, so
Yeah.
their bachelor and master is also already in a good institute at
Yeah.
good level. So they have good exposure and they know more
Hmm.
than me. Maybe I know the similar level, but this inferiority complex
Was there.
that makes you like, okay, no, you can't dream MIT, but you can dream to go
Somewhere else.
yeah, somewhere else, do
Yeah.
PhD outside. Yeah. Then there is one thing came, or I learned from someone that in Germany you don't have to go give IELTS or TOEFL.
Yeah.
You don't have to give these exams.
Yes.
And as I'm from Hindi medium till my bachelor, my English is not that level. So I have that fear also. So that's why I try to target only in the European universities and European Union.
Yeah.
And then during the search, I found one position. I mean, I found many positions. I applied and I get reply from two universities, one from Norway and one from Niedersachsen. So
Okay.
Niedersachsen,
Niedersachsen,
yeah, in this government. So there were like 3-4 universities: Hannover University, TU Clausthal, and TU Braunschweig.
Okay.
These three have some graduate school, and from there there was a scholarship, and I applied for that,
Okay.
and I got selected for that scholarship, and that's why I came to TU Clausthal.
TU Clausthal.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. And we skipped one. Actually, we skipped one part in this, which I'm more interested in. How did you choose to do your PhD in solar cells specifically?
Okay, yeah. So that's a very good question. I mean, everybody would like to get this answer. Maybe they will not get from me because my one is quite direct answer that I did my master thesis in solar cell.
In solar cells. Okay, that's the most logical answer that you
Yeah,
can.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
indeed.
And it will be very easy to convince someone, some professor, that I want to do PhD in this field
Okay.
because you will write your motivational letter because
Yes,
if
which
it
is
is
directly related to your master's.
Master thesis.
Actually, to be
Yeah.
frank, it's the same for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody who want to do their PhD just try to relate their master's work with their PhD. Yeah, that's very logical. But then coming back to the one point before, why you did your master's thesis in solar cells?
That's also a very good question. And for that also I have direct answer.
Okay.
So generally in IITs or maybe in Aizer Mohali also, so in every semester or end of semester, maybe in the end semester, you have to do your thesis.
Yes,
And
yes.
there will be like 10 or 15 topics on which you can do your master thesis.
Yes,
And there will be professor assigned to that. And there were multiple topics assigned for that. Some are theoretical, some are experimental, some are material science. And my master was in material science. So, and I like doing experiments.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can relate it.
Yeah, doing experiments, some simulation and do the experiment. So that's why this topic was mostly related to experiments. So that, okay, you have to make perovskite solar cells. So you have to synthesize this material and then make the thin film, analyze it, and then, yeah. So that will be end of your master thesis. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I choose this topic. Maybe it's not quite motivating for someone that, okay, who has
No, actually,
in the heart that he wants to do theoretical, some theoretical, do something advancement of the physics or advancement of the science during his master. So it's quite low level.
I would not say low level, but I think you followed a very obvious path because I always struggled to, if you ask me, I always struggled in finding out what exactly is my interest.
Yeah.
Extensively. I mean, till date, maybe we will talk about it in a different podcast, but overall, I have tried multiple things from theoretical projects to extensively experimental to totally off the topic. During my 5 years' time, I have even done a small project related to programming, which has nothing to do with science. So just to figure out that where should I go and how should I go. At the end, I realized this thing that you need not to figure out that what you love. You just have to figure out that what is the thing that comes easily to you. If the thing which comes easily to you, I think that's the right choice for you to pursue. For example, if somebody is doing plasma physics or is trying to study plasma physics, there are certain subjects which just come intuitively to you. You know, this is what my feeling is. You don't have to struggle a lot while studying them. I think this is the point where you realize, okay, this is a subject that is meant for me.
Or
This is
maybe
what my experience has been so far.
maybe I can explain or I can comment on these
Yeah,
things. So
sure.
the explanation could be in a different way that in the field where you are quite good or quite skilled, so maybe that thing you catch very easily, and that's why you are attracted to that side.
Yes, this is one of the way of explaining it. I would say, because you can directly relate it to related to the conceptual clarity.
Yeah,
Like for example, if you have done good in electrostatics during your bachelor's time, definitely your master's would be in advanced electrodynamics. It would be much better, and then you will eventually gain the experience. I would agree on that.
Yeah. So I think I don't know if you have read one book, Thinking Fast and Slow. I think that's a book quite famous. Yeah, I think it's Thinking Fast and Slow, and there is psychological thing discussed, like how mind behaves. So if you have some thought about like a
Yeah.
red car, okay, and you are conscious about that, okay, there is a red Mini Cooper, something happened with that, and now you are walking on the street, then there is a possibility, high possibility, that you will see a red Mini Cooper.
Yeah,
Because now in your head there
You
is
have
some
already- yes,
story
yes.
about that. But if you don't have that, then you will never notice that.
Even though it was around.
Yeah, obviously,
that is true.
you
That
will
is
never
true.
notice that.
Yeah. Okay, if you don't want to go into psychology, but I have also, I actually, there was a scientific experiment that was done, and it's a very famous experiment. What they did was they asked 7 people for an interview, and they invited all the 7 people to a restaurant where there was a transparent glass window. And outside that restaurant and beyond that glass window, there was a street, and everybody randomly, every person was asked a question: what's the color of the tie that you would like to wear? Interestingly, out of 7 people, 6 to 5 people, I think it was 5 people, answered that they would like to wear a blue tie with dotted white stripes.
Okay.
Interestingly, when the question was asked to them, a blue car with dotted stripes was immediately passed through that road. This indirectly showed that our subconscious mind accepts things which are which you don't know that it is accepting, but it's having an influence in your decision making. So I think this is what somewhat related to when you are choosing what interests you and what does not. It has a lot of influence about your environment, the way you live, and all these things. Yeah.
So that dictates your decisions.
Yes, that dictates more or less. Yes. Let's not go into psychology because then we can have a long discussion about it. Okay, coming back
to physics.
Yes, coming back to physics.
Yeah.
We would start with the basic question that what are solar cells?
Okay, yeah. So solar cell, I can say in simple words that it's a device which you will put in the sun, and then it will generate electricity.
Okay. Yeah.
And that electricity you can use for anything. You can use for your bulbs, your fans in your home. You can use for pumps, water pumps in the field. So you can use that electricity everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
So if
This is a very simple one.
Yes, obviously, yes. We will dive a little bit deeper into it.
Yeah.
So in the solar cells, if I understood it correctly, please correct me if I'm wrong. What we are doing is we are using the photons of the sun which are coming.
Yes.
And they are landing on a specific type of material,
Yes.
which do the photochemical reaction, and as a result of which they release electrons, and those electrons are kind of generate electricity, right? That's the easiest way.
Yes.
But my question is now, we also have other sources of generating energy, like geothermal energy, hydraulic energy. Coal is one of the biggest producer of energy, and nuclear power plants. Why solar cells? What made this industry so advanced that nowadays every second country is trying to implement more and more solar cells?
Yeah, so the first answer will be all the other things which you mentioned, they are limited sources.
Okay, yeah.
They will finish someday in future, after 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, 100 years maybe. But sun is unlimited source. You can use it for million year maybe. I think the sun life is more than million year.
More than millions,
Yeah, so you can use that for million year. And one more thing I would like to tell about the sun is the amount of light which is falling on the earth. I don't know exact percentage, but it's like 1 or 2% it's coming inside the earth or which you are using.
Okay.
Yeah. And rest of going waste.
Going waste. Okay.
Yeah. So if you can, I mean, have any
Harness,
method to harness this energy, then the whole world's electricity problem or energy problem will be solved. So that's why sun is the only way to go.
Sun is the only way to do it. All other energy sources like
Limited.
limit are
It will
limited
finish
to
after
it.
some time.
Yeah.
Now the second thing comes that you talk about coal, you
Yeah.
talk about oil, and some other maybe biogas. I don't know. No biogas. Okay, let's go about oil and coal. Once you take out the energy from them, you burn them, you take out the energy, and there is residuals from these
From these materials, yes,
from the
yes.
materials.
Yeah.
They are like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and some other gases, methane and other things. No, methane is not coming from there, but these gases which I told, they are increasing the temperature of the earth, and this is not good for the environment.
Indeed, yeah.
That is called global warming. And if it's continued, then we will reach in a situation which will be like self-destructing yourself.
Self-destructing, definitely,
Yeah.
because we're already reached to a level where the ideal temperature was supposed to be 10 degree less, and now it is increasing
exactly.
extensively, and it is said that the preventive measures that we were supposed to take
Yeah.
were 10 years back,
Yeah, exactly.
and now we just can save whatever we have. We have already reached to a limit, and now it's going to increase the same way.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So what are the basic components of solar cell? Like the description that we gave, that it converts solar photons into electrical energy. But what are the basic components? Like, can anybody go at home and make a solar cell? I don't think so.
Can anybody make a solar cell at home? Okay, I think I will answer you that later. I mean, a working solar cell,
Yeah.
I think anybody can make it. Working solar
A
cell.
working solar cell, but it
Good solar cell.
Good solar cell.
For that, I mean, the companies are working in that, so you have to buy from the companies.
So what are the challenges that you face? One of the biggest challenges in making a solar cell. What are the basic things that are actually creating problems in making more and more efficient solar cells?
So the efficient solar cell. So I don't know in which years there was one paper published. So one person did the theoretical calculation of solar cell efficiency. So how much one material. So generally in solar cell you use semiconductor material. So how much efficiency you can take out from this solar cell material, this semiconductor material. So in that theoretical analysis, it's defined that how much efficiency you can get out of silicon.
Of silicon.
Yeah, or a silicon solar cell. So it's like around 29%. All that 70% got waste or got absorbed or reflected or something. So only 29% you can take out from a silicon solar cell.
From a silicon solar cell. So that's kind of a limitation.
29 point something, but I'm telling 29% to remember.
Lump sum, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
With the error or plus minus.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for our audience, when we talk about efficiency, we mean that the amount of energy that you are giving and the amount of energy that you are getting out. The ratio of this is generally called as efficiency. In simple words, it's a very fundamental thing in physics or in general science. Yeah. So coming back to the point of semiconductors. Why semiconductors and not...
I did answer that. What are the challenges?
Yes, sorry. I'm so sorry. Yes. Being a podcaster, I'm just more interested in asking questions. Sorry.
Yeah, so the challenges is that okay, if you want to take out 29%, then the materials should be very pure. If there will be any problem, any defect inside, then you cannot get out of that. Now, to make it pure silicon, the silicon source in this earth is like sand.
I see.
From sand, you make the silica. So SiO2, you make the silica.
Yeah.
And then metallurgy guys can understand that yes, from SiO2, you have to bring Si.
You have to bring SI, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So silica, then you heat in some furnace, and then it's very energy intensive process.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, from there you get polycrystalline silicon. So crystalline and polycrystalline. So crystalline is like, how to say that? The crystal is periodic. So
So it has a certain crystallographic
orientation,
orientation,
and
like
it-
7
it-
cross 7 and all
yeah,
these things.
yeah, and
Yes.
it's periodic. So you can go infinite and you can get the same periodicity. But in polysilicon, so it's polycrystalline silicon, so they are not crystalline. So you will not get periodicity. You will get the silicon atom, but you will not get any periodicity.
Any periodicity.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So from polysilicon, now you want to make crystalline silicon. So from polysilicon, you can make a solar cell, but that will not be very efficient,
Okay.
because it's not a pure crystal. So you want to make crystalline silicon. Now this is also high energy intensive process.
Okay.
Yeah. So you make the crystalline silicon. Now from that silicon, you want to make a silicon solar cell.
Okay. Yeah. I get it. I'm getting it.
So
Yeah.
all our manufacturing process, and everywhere you need high purity plus high energy intensive process. So you need energy. So energy cost, I mean, it's quite a lot.
It's quite a lot.
Yeah.
Now my question. Now that's an interesting one.
Yeah. So quite a lot. Okay.
Exactly.
So
So
now, yeah.
yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Continue.
Now you make a material.
Yeah.
Now you want to make a cell out of that, and to make a cell out of that, you need a pure process. Like you have to make positive contact and negative contact at bottom and top, and to make that you need an industrial process, and that should be very clean.
Yes.
So like semiconductor grade cleanliness, I mean a bit lower. In semiconductor, you have very high grade of cleanliness,
Cleanliness, yes.
but in solar cell, you need a bit lower. So that kind of cleanliness, you have to make a production fab, and that will cost some amount of money.
Maybe basically the clean room thing.
Clean room,
it has to
exactly.
be there.
Yeah,
Yes, yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
So
Indeed.
yeah, so you make that cell. Now you have the cell. After all this process, you have the cell.
Okay.
Yeah. So the complexity will be like, okay, first off, the process is very complex, and then you need high energy. Yeah. So that energy is cost.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Now my question is, the energy that you have, that we are producing out of solar cells, and the amount of energy in total that is required to create such a high purity silicon, it's more or less the same. Like you are indirectly using coal to produce solar cells from the energy of the coal that is provided, right? Because it's a very energy consuming process. Overall, the whole structure of energy consumption is more or less the same. Then why not use coal?
Yeah, that's a good point. But if you would like to see the journey of this industrialization, so you started from coal, okay, then maybe you start to make a gas-fired
Yeah.
energy production, then nuclear energy, then right now it's renewable energy.
Yeah.
So it's like a third or fourth step you are now using the renewable energy.
But the thing is, sorry to interrupt, but the name we say that renewable energy, is it really renewable? Because to create renewable energy, we are using non-renewable resources.
Yes, that's true that it's non-renewable sources, but I can answer it that way that you need time to change fully.
I
It's
see.
all of a sudden you can't change everything. So right now you are using coal-powered thing, but once you will increase your capacity,
Yeah.
here the renewable capacity,
Yeah.
then this renewable energy you can use to produce the electricity.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
So
so
first-
the energy consumption that is required at the moment, which is coming from non-renewable resources,
Yeah.
a time will come where this non-renewable source is not required because we have generated so much energy through renewable resources
Yeah.
that we do not need the non-renewable resources anymore.
exactly.
Maybe I would also like to comment. So we are generating right now kind of a resources which can be used again and again for long term. But this non-renewable energy, for example, coal,
Yeah.
it will run out one day.
One day, yes.
But once you have this material, solar cell also, it can be used again and again and again for years.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of positive side of this.
Positive side of this. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, this question is for everyone. Like, okay, you are using the same thing. For example, if you are going on the road and you have electric vehicles, you are charging that.
Yeah, but with the coal.
With the coal power.
Yes.
So the answer will be like, I just get this idea a few months ago that okay, first you have to build the infrastructure.
Yes. First, you have to build the infrastructure. Then only the
You can change.
reduction will happen.
Yeah. So renewable, we are talking about like from last 1 or 2 years, for example, and UK just I think it was the last week that it terms of the last coal-fired power plant in the country.
In the country. So now it's totally without any coal.
Without any coal. Maybe it's gas-powered, gas-fired, or maybe something else, but not coal.
Not coal. Okay.
Yeah. So
Nice.
the thing, which are the energy which was required and you are getting from coal, now it's given by or consumed by some other sources, right?
Yeah, indeed.
Because economy is not going down. I mean,
Indeed.
Yeah.
We all know about it.
yeah. I mean, maybe there is something in economy, but yeah, the energy consumption is always increasing. But
Yes.
if they stop using coal, it means there is some other sources which they start to use.
Maybe some top secret research.
Yeah,
plan
could be.
So this is going on.
Yeah, could be.
Could be. Yeah.
Germany stopped, I think, nuclear power plant.
Yeah. I think
month.
last year they stopped their last
Last year or last month or last maybe.
I mean,
within
I heard
this
the
year.
news last year
Yeah.
that they are going to close it. Maybe it's closed last month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now that was used for some purpose. Nuclear reactors were used. The electricity which was generated by these power plants, that was used within the country. But now they are not using that. So it means that is covered by maybe gas-fired power plant or renewable or something else.
Yeah. I mean, in Germany, I think the whole structure of energy production has changed.
Yeah.
And the best part about here is that even people are supporting it, because if you last month I was looking at my electricity bill, and they were asking me which type of resource of electricity do you want, a renewable one or a non-renewable one, and they were charging a little bit higher for a renewable source. And I realized that the statistics, they also show the statistics within the website, that more than 70%, 60% people are choosing for a renewable source.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good
That's-
sign.
that's a good sign, yeah.
I didn't see the statistics, but it would be nice, or it would be good if you see the statistics of different states.
Yeah.
Then you will get a really good picture, like how people are reacting to these renewables.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll look into it
So
definitely.
there was, I think it's a real story that I will not say the states, but people were telling, like, if you put the wind turbines, then that will destroy the visuals or the view of the nature. So we
Okay.
don't want wind turbines. Yeah. So,
Typical European mentality.
exactly.
So coming to the revolution of solar cells, like if you go 20 years back, solar cells were not really, one of the efficient ways of producing electricity.
Yeah.
But within this 10 to 20 years, the solar cell industry has boomed a lot. There are multiple industries all over the world, inside India, or in Europe or in US. They have boomed extensively. So what was the reason behind such a boom in solar cell industry, and what are the basic milestones that they achieved because of which the industry grew so much?
Milestone, so that's kind of history, and it's hard for me to comment on that. But how this solar industry revolutionized, so I think I can comment. I'm not an expert of that.
Sure, no
this
problem, yeah.
revolution, but I can comment something. So if you see the solar production in the past, so I think solar production in India started in 90s.
In 90s.
In 90s, yeah. So in 90s there were production with some Tata solar power. There was Bayer. They were doing the solar production in India. So from the 90s it has been started, or there were the companies, there were the learnings, there were like manufacturing steps. That was already there, but it haven't boomed that much. But once this global warming things paced up last 10 years.
Last 10 years, okay.
Then this solar revolution came, that okay, there is this renewable energy source which can be utilized very well to produce the electricity.
I see.
So
Okay.
that's this global warming plus already established infrastructure in 90s that helped to get this solar revolution.
Solar revolution.
Yes.
Okay. So basically, this technology boomed because it was not something that people just came up with, but it was kind of a necessity.
Necessity
To-
and was already developed in the past.
It was already developed in the past, yes.
but haven't been applied to the
real world.
real world.
Yes.
Intensively. I mean, it was applied.
Yes.
I mean, you can see 30 years old modules, but not at that pace. And this global warming and the internet nowadays, that okay, now everybody know that what's happening in USA or what's happening like yesterday or day before yesterday, there was this typhoon in Florida.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that was
yeah.
doing devastation. So now everybody know about that. Okay, how this global warming impacting on the whole world, and it's easy to tell the people that okay, we need renewable energy. Yeah.
So it's basically the necessity at this moment.
Exactly.
We can't just escape from it. We can't just rely anymore on other energy resources. That's the only
Only way to go.
only way to go forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, self-destruction.
Indeed.
Maybe we'll watch the movie to 2050, something like that.
Yes.
And it will be the same case for
It's
us.
the same case for us, maybe.
I watched a movie, I think last week or last week, this Mad Max Fury,
Oh, amazing
the
movie.
current version.
Yeah.
What was the current one?
And Mad Max, amazing movie. I watched the last movie. I think it came in 2018 or 19,
Yes.
something like that. That was also amazing.
Yeah, so that will be the scenario of us if
Indeed,
we will
yeah.
not do, if we will not take the action.
I would love to be Mad Max. Just kidding. Now the thing is, yes, solar cells are important and they are renewable energy sources. They are booming at the moment. But can solar cells be placed all over the earth? I'm sure that because let's talk about places where not much solar energy is available. If we can take the example of Germany also. Here, most of the time, the weather is not as much efficient as compared to back in India. Let's say in the northern part of India. So in this case, what do you think? What's the role of solar cells?
So the answer to your first question, that it can be placed everywhere
Mm-hmm.
because you can't see the sun, but there is photons.
Indeed, yes.
So there is photons. So
There's photons.
yes, photon absorbs. Maybe the power output will be in Nordic countries. The power output will be maybe 10% only, and in India, in Tamil Nadu or somewhere, the power output will be 100%.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, 100% of 29%.
Yes. Yes. so
Yeah. Yeah.
so 29% is the maximum that we can achieve
That is
out
the-
of
Yeah, that is theoretical maximum.
Yes.
Currently, you have like 24-25% module, so you will get that much output in the what do you call that, in Tamil Nadu, where installation is quite high, so you can get that much. In Nordic country, you will get 10%,
10%.
but you can place everywhere. So that is the answer to your first question.
Okay.
And the second question comes like, yeah, it's also the same thing. Like, can you place everywhere?
Yes.
Yeah. So there was one question that if you want to put on forest, then you have to cut all the trees.
Ah.
That's not good.
Yeah, indeed.
You cannot put on that. And the second thing, you can put all over the desert
Mm-hmm.
because it's plainer. But the moment you put on the desert, then all the energy get absorbed by the solar cell.
Okay.
Okay. Then these energy is not reflected back, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the sand, it's reflected back.
Mm-hmm.
But if you make the panel, solar panel, then it's not reflected back.
Okay.
Now the energy which get reflected back, that warms the air.
Ah. Okay. That
Okay.
will eventually result into climate change.
Yes.
Oh.
So
Okay.
so
Ah.
this analysis needs to be done, like where to put, and that will not change the
The whole
environment.
dynamics of the
In the surrounding
in the
area.
surrounding area.
Yes.
I see. So there has to. It's not like you buy the solar cells and you place it anywhere.
Yes.
It will also affect the climate.
Yes.
But the advantage is that you can control that by proper calculations.
Some place, put
Yes.
some place like right now, I think some place in Rajasthan, Adani is doing, and is making some power plant. Avada is one energy producer. They made, I think, 1 gigawatt or 2 gigawatt, some acres of land
Yeah.
in the desert, and they put the modules on top of that. So yeah, it's possible. You can do
But
that.
isn't it good that if the energy is not reflected back, then it means that the climate is going to be cold and eventually it will be more sustainable for the vegetation to grow?
Yes, exactly. So
I mean, I'm not a climate person or not doing research in climate, but to me it sounds a little bit positive.
yeah. So just answer me this question: that what is monsoon in India?
Okay, the monsoon is.
So monsoon.
Yes.
I don't know the air wind from where to where it goes. So hot wind goes
Yes,
up,
but the Thar Desert is one of the reason why monsoon comes to
and then
India.
it go in
Okay.
Arabian Sea, and then it turns
Indeed.
out. Then yeah, you can make that. Maybe the living will be easy. Maybe Rajasthan will not be desert, but,
But the rest of the part will definitely suffer.
maybe
Yes.
in UP you will not be able to grow rice or flour. Yeah, it could be possible. I don't know. talk to some
Yeah, I get it.
environmentalists or
I was just curious that
Yeah.
this is very interesting point that I never really thought about, that solar cells can affect the
if you are disturbing the ecosystem of this desert and everything, then that can impact. Solar cell is good. Put on your roof.
put on your room. Yes,
Yes, that's good. Yeah, put somewhere where you see there is nothing happening. Okay, put some
exactly.
there.
Don't be too generous. Just put it everywhere. No, don't
Exactly.
do that.
Yeah. I mean, there is always a calculation that Sahara is one of the hottest desert,
Yes.
and the insolation is quite high. And maybe you need 1 or 2 acres, or maybe some acres of land. Let's say some acres of land, and you put the electricity there, and then you put the solar panel there, and that will be enough for whole world.
For whole world.
Yeah,
I see.
all the consumption. But
Okay.
how to put that there, how you will take out the energy, so you need wires.
Like you said, it would definitely result into a climate change.
Some person, but in Sahara, there are other problems like, okay, how you will distribute those electricity all around the world.
Oh yes, definitely. This is another problem. Distribution of electricity.
Yes.
And we all know this P is equals to IRT. So there is definitely a energy loss which during the transfer. Yes.
Yeah, energy loss and other stuff, like you have to bring inside these ocean, these power lines, and then who will control that? The political situation, global politics, there are a lot of things.
There are a lot of things.
Yeah.
So it's better to, for the moment, just buy a solar cell for your home and
Put on
live
your
happily.
roof. Put your own roof.
Put
Yes.
your, yeah, exactly.
So I think there is saying like revolution start from you.
From you,
Yeah. So
indeed.
first put on your roof, and then let's see. Yeah, because in India there are a lot of roofs open. I mean, India is not in the forefront of this solar installation. China is at the forefront right now. Then comes EU, I think.
EU is one of the second producer, I would say.
Yeah, not producer.
No, sorry, second
Installation.
installation
Yeah.
committee.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.